Being an agent is hard. It was for me when I first started, and I'm lucky enough to be able to help new and stuck agents avoid some of the same mistakes that I made. Today, I'm taking you to Noblesville, Indiana, which is just a suburb of Indianapolis. And we're gonna meet up with Paige Corbett, who is in her second year and recently broke through. Wonder how she did it? Stick around. This is the story of Agent Rise Coast to Coast. I'm Neil Mathwig, and after selling over 1,000 homes in Madison, Wisconsin, we sold our house and bought an RV to travel the country to help real estate agents build careers they love. I want to introduce you to agents who are standing out from the crowd, making huge impacts in their community, and are providing world-class service. Come along with us on this wild journey across America. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're a real estate agent who is standing out from the crowd and you want to be on the show, click on the application link in the description.
Hey, what's up? Hey, buddy.
We're at Missy at the park. Can you wave? Hi.
There we go.
Paige and her husband Justin have 3 kids, and after a career as a dental assistant, Paige wanted to spend more time with those kids. She wanted more freedom. And so she decided she wanted to become a real estate agent. Now, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies when she first began. In fact, it was quite difficult. So one of the first questions I asked her was to tell me about the day she almost quit.
That was quite a day. I was so worried and just guilt-ridden, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I called you and I was like, Neil, something has to happen, or like this isn't gonna work anymore. And I'm so competitive. I didn't want to be that like 87% that quits. And so I was like, no, this can't happen. I've literally changed everything for my family, and like how are we gonna pay the bills. And I was crying, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm like raking in all these leads, and you said you need to harvest the fruit, and you know, you're bringing all the crops in, but you're not harvesting it. And I was just like, okay, so I already know what I need to do, but I need to focus and do the things, and it'll all work out. And again, I was just too worried about it, and you reminded me who my provider was, that it doesn't matter what other people are thinking about or saying. And so I just really, and then that gave me a new sense of like, I knew that I had all these leads coming in. And you know, when you get new leads, obviously you work the leads for business, but for some reason that hadn't really clicked through with me yet of what I needed to do for the breakthrough to happen. And I just dialed in on that, and it, you know, that breakdown was the day when you said I need to harvest the fruits, and it changed everything.
So again, Paige was fantastic at marketing and generating leads, but she wasn't going the extra mile to convert those leads. So it was like she had a whole field full of crop that she wasn't harvesting. She was letting it all rot. So next I asked her what was the actual tangible thing that she started doing to make sure that she was converting those leads.
One other thing that completely changed the game was when I actually focused on matchmaking, you know, which is what we're talking about when we say harvest the crops and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I don't want to just call and sit and call people all the time. And so your matchmaking thing just made so much more sense. And there's even someone who was my very first online lead when I got my license in April of 2019. Okay, first lead ever. Literally the other day this happened, on last Monday. I was like, he's still looking at houses on my site, hasn't committed to anything. I'm just gonna call him, because I already knew what he wanted from a year and a half ago. Found a property, and we're gonna list his house. I already went to a listing appointment, and we already went and looked at the property, and he's gonna make an offer. And it's just like, first off, literally it just took a phone call of matchmaking all this time, you know. And also people they're so surprised when you're not calling them. You always say to stay in the loop, but it's so true, because that's just like such an easy phrase to say. But whenever I have what they actually want, it starts a whole conversation. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's not what you want, what would you change about this? And then it just opens up the floodgates for a conversation. It changed everything.
awesome.
And if you're not familiar with what matchmaking is, really quickly, what it's all about is getting the consumer's contact information and their search criteria so you can give them what they want. And what they want is a house, right? If they're a buyer, that's what they're looking for. They want a house. And see, a lot of us, when we get this contact information from either open houses or online leads or Facebook ads, we're just calling to check in with people, calling to stay in the loop. And here's the thing is most of these buyers are talking to 4, 5, 6 other agents. And so they don't really want to keep you in the loop. They don't want to stay in touch with you. And so when we call them, they're not going to call us back. And then we wonder why they don't call us back. And then the lead fizzles away. With matchmaking, what we do, again, we have their contact information and their search criteria. So when we call them and say something like this: hey, this is Neil. I met you the other day at the open house, and you were telling me that you were looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch with a 3-car garage. Well, I was looking through the listings today, and I found one that just popped up. Looks like showings begin on Thursday. I saw this house and I thought of you. Give me a call back when you get a chance. And this, again, this is compelling them to work with us instead of convincing them. And see, what a lot of us are doing is we're trying to become best friends with everybody and hope that they'll pick us to be their realtor. And when you matchmake, you're doing something completely different. You're compelling them to work with you.
I mean, last Saturday I was out with 3 different clients that I had matchmaked with. Matchmaked? I had done matchmaking with. 3 different clients on Saturday. I was gone from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we had 11 houses to see. And I was like, I told my husband, I was like, man, I'm so busy. And he was like, that's not a bad problem to have. He's like, that means you've done what it takes to get here. And I was like, okay. But then I had Sunday off, but I spent all day Saturday with those 3 clients that I had matchmaking with, matchmaked with. It was awesome. It was so good.
I kept the camera rolling and I captured this.
Awesome. All right. I think we're good.
Okay.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it is one of those things, because I've talked to other agents about Agent Rise when they heard our podcast episode, and for some reason they're so hesitant. And I already know it's because of the other programs that are out there. You know, first off, charging buku dollars, and you don't get to even have contact with the coach, you know, that kind of thing. And then I have conversations, and I've brought people, you know, made them aware of Agent Rise even more, and we've had really great phone conversations. And then what happens with them is like, wait, I just Facebook messaged him with a question, and he personally got back to me like that day, like within an hour. And I'm like, yeah, like that's just how it is, you know? And so it's one of those things, like, if whatever hesitant thoughts you have about it, you just gotta, like, it's gonna change everything. You have to have faith that it's gonna change everything, because we've seen it over and over again. Just in the past year that I've been a member of Agent Rice, I mean, look at all the breakthroughs. We've been like all cheering each other on. It's so great. It's so good. So if you're thinking about it, I would just say, like, you just forget all those thoughts and just let it happen.
Just do it.
Just let it happen.
That's awesome. All right. That's a wrap. Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Paige. And yes, you should consider joining Agent Rise. No doubt about that. So as you can see, Paige is a very, very special person, and she has gained focus on her business, and you can do it too. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss other videos just like this one. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.
Hey Jenny, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine.